Hello and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. Today is a no box art box video, and this time I'm doing it as a collaboration with Weblight Dreams. She and I will be uploading on the same day, replicating the same box. So if you are here first, definitely go check out her video after you've watched this one. I will have a link to her channel and her video everywhere I can put it. And if you watched hers first and you've clicked through to watch mine, thank you so much for coming. Welcome. Love to see you coming over. So what is No Box Art Box? Well, it's a challenge that you can do anywhere on social media or in the privacy of your own home and never tell anybody about it. That's up to you. If you do it on YouTube, make sure you do use the hashtag NoBoxArtBox, all one word, so that I can find it and add you to the master playlist that I curate for the challenge. That helps out everybody involved. It helps other people see your video if maybe they're reviewing somebody else who did No Box Art Box, and then yours comes up in the same playlist. That's just a cool little perk there. So, step 1. Pick a past subscription box. This works best for art and craft supply subscriptions because that's how I've designed it, but if you're, say, a beauty guru or whatever and you want to try to do it with a different type of box, you can go ahead and figure out how to adapt it. The reason I say pick a past box is because we're going to look up what was sent in the box. Step number 2. Match the supplies that were sent in the box as close as you possibly can using what you already own. You can use the exact same supply that was in the box as long as you didn't get the box you're replicating. So let's say that we're doing January Scrawler Box. I got January Scrawler Box, so I would have to use different supplies. We're not doing January Scrawler Box here, we're going to do a different one, and it's one I didn't get, so if I had the exact same supplies, that would be okay. Step number 3, do the challenge. You are going to create art or build your craft or whatever it is you're doing using the supplies that you have matched for this box. Don't add anything that changes the game, only add essentials that weren't included, such as a pencil, a paper to draw on, that kind of thing. Ready? Alright, so we are going to do ArtSnacks January 2020, the latest ArtSnacks at the time that we are recording this. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with ArtSnacks, partway through last year, they introduced the Plus Box tier. I will be replicating Plus. For simplicity, I have listed the regular box items in blue and the Plus Box items in pink. All of these other price calculations will be in the description down below. Don't worry about trying to pause and follow along with that. So with Plus, you get the regular box plus a surface and 1 to 3 additional items. In ArtSnacks January 2020, everybody got a Tombow Mono pencil. The sample box sent out a B pencil, but their store says size, or in this case hardness, may vary. Everybody got a Sennelier Abstract 3D liner. That is a heavy body acrylic paint in a liner tube. And the sample box sent out orange, but on Instagram I've seen at least 3 different colors. Everybody got a King Art Original Gold number 10 flat brush. That is a synthetic hair shader brush. And I believe everyone got number 10. I may be wrong on that. Everybody got a Marabou Mixed Media Art Crayon. This is a somewhat soft art crayon in a push-up tube. Kind of reminds me of like chapstick, that kind of thing. The sample box has green. I have seen multiple colors on Instagram, so that also varies. If you got the Plus Box, the surface is Strathmore 400 series Bristol paper. They sent out the full-size 9x12 inch pad, which includes 15 sheets, and I could not easily find the weight of that paper. The additional supply was the Tombow Mono Knock Stick Eraser. That is a 3.8mm round white eraser in a click-down stick. For those who are curious, again, I will have all of this pricing information in the box down below, but the Strathmore paper, the list price, which is what ArtSnacks would be using to calculate the value of their box, is $12.59 US, but Dick Blick sells it for just $5.69. That's a savings of over $6 US, and that cancels out all of the savings you're going to get in this box. So what am I using to replicate this box? For the pencil, I will be using a Staedtler Mars Lumograph pencil. I have lots of different art pencils, but this is the only one that I actually have in the lead weight B. For that Sennelier Abstract 3D liner, I don't have any sort of acrylic paint in a liner tube, that kind of thing. I have pump pens and I have regular tubes of acrylic. I could try to use a thin pointed pen, but then there would be no option to get a 3D effect, and it was noted that this is a heavy body acrylic, so I'm going to use the one and only tube of Liquitex heavy body acrylic I own. This came completely as a surprise to me when I ordered some art supplies from Curry's last year. I didn't know it was coming, I didn't get to pick the color, I don't know what to do with one tube of Hooker's Green heavy body when I don't own any other heavy body acrylics. To replace the King Art brush, I am using a number 10 flat universal brush. This is made by Zan, and it was sent out and customized for Scrawlerbox last year. To replace the Marabou Mixed Media Art Crayon, I will be using an art crayon. I don't have anything that is a softer consistency like that. The Faber-Castell Gelatos probably would replicate that pretty well, and I predict that's what Weblight Dreams will be using. But I am going to use a Conte crayon stick. You might think that this is an odd choice, it's basically a pastel, and that's true, but one of the features of that Marabou crayon that they really pushed in the official ArtSnacks video for this box is that it's water soluble, and so are Conte crayons. Fun fact you may not have known. Moving on to the plus items, since I will be replicating the plus box. For the paper, although I do own many different papers from Strathmore, I don't have Bristol from them. I will be using Daler Rowney Simply Bristol. This is also a 9x12 pad. Just for trivia, this is 190 GSM. I don't know how that compares to Strathmore because that wasn't listed in any obvious place, but I expect the Strathmore was a heavier weight because 400 series is professional and Daler Rowney Simply is like student and hobby grade. And last but not least, for that Tombow Knock Stick Eraser, I am using a Tombow Knock Stick Eraser. This is my favorite eraser. I use it all the time. Love it. I even love it more than my electric Derwent. But here we go. Let's replicate the January ArtSnacks Plus box using the supplies you see before you. The only exact match is the Tombow Knock Stick Eraser. Normally when I do no-box artbox videos, I like to tag other YouTube artists to try the challenge. Absolutely everyone is welcome to do it, and I'd love to see your work if you try it. Use the hashtag NoBoxArtbox, all one word, so I can see it anywhere on social media. If you want to tag me or message me to be sure I've seen it, that's cool too. If you upload it to YouTube, I do curate a master playlist of everyone's videos doing the No-Box Artbox challenge. It's helpful to all channels on the list when viewers get sucked into watching it, so definitely let me know if you've got a No-Box Artbox video that still needs to be added. This round I'm going to challenge Pixie Sticks, Colornix, and Calpri Art. Let's see what you decide to do with the No-Box Artbox challenge if you're up for it. You don't have to do this exact box, by the way, pick any box you want. And once again, I'm doing this round as a collaboration with Weblight Dreams. If you've been around my channel for a while, then you've heard me mention her before. We're both members of the Art Addicts Alliance. We've collaborated just the two of us before, and we've got more collaborations planned in the future. If you've never checked her out before, please do go over there after this video and give her channel a try. I really think you'll like her stuff. We decided to both tackle the same source box together at the same time, so it'll be really cool to watch each other's videos and see the different ways each of us matched the supplies and used them. If you're new here, whether you're coming from Weblight Dreams channel or you found me some other way, welcome, good to see you. I'd love it if you would subscribe and turn on notifications. I upload twice a week at minimum, every Tuesday and Thursday, and some weeks I have bonus videos as well. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the most recent 12 months, which, yes, are the requirements to apply for the YouTube Partner Program. And in order to celebrate, when I hit that goal, I'll be holding an international giveaway of some art supplies and a small original artwork. It will indeed be open internationally, but you've got to be a subscriber to be eligible, so make sure you're subscribed if that interests you, and I'll have more information when I'm closer to hitting that goal. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like and leave a comment down below. I love reading your comments, I appreciate the interaction, and I do reply to everyone. Tell me how you would have matched the supplies in this particular box if you were to try to do the challenge with this box yourself. Also, tell me if you knew Conte crayons were water soluble before this. I actually used Conte during the one and only university level art course I took, and even back then I didn't know you could use them this way. So, since I had orange and green to work with as my only real colors, I decided to do a still life study type painting, although I didn't actually have a still life setup to study from, and I picked gourds as my subject. Pumpkins, or maybe something similar but smaller, I don't know. I wanted to play around with making the texture and pigment variation streaky, and gourds always look streaky, so it seemed like a good choice. I alternated between activating the Conte after applying it dry to the paper and picking it up directly off the crayon with a wetted brush. The payoff isn't as saturated as anything that's meant to be used primarily in washes, like Inktense blocks, but for a material I until recently thought was only used dry, I'm very impressed with the water solubility of Conte crayons. I recently acquired a 24 set of colors and I was already really excited to play around with them, but now I've got even more different ways to play with them, so I'm pumped. Can't wait. Also, not dying a little inside every time I see the price on Neocolor crayons now, since I don't need them if Contes also work this way. As for the Liquitex Heavy Body Acrylic, I was impressed with how evenly this paint thins out with water. I know there are one or two artists out there with big followings who say you should never thin acrylic with water, but there are far more artists saying that's bullshit, thin with water all you want, so excuse me while I leave the solvents and pricey mediums on the shelf at Michael's, thanks. I was surprised how well an acrylic paint and a water-soluble crayon can actually work together. I feel like this combination really challenged me, and I learned a few things from trying to make these two very different mediums work together. If I were to try to do this again, I wouldn't hobble myself with just one brush, and definitely not such a big one either if I were still to do it on such a relatively small piece of paper. Yes, by the way, I trimmed it in half. I don't like using a full 9x12 sheet for an experiment, and this absolutely was an experiment. The other half actually ended up getting used in another video you'll be seeing this month, so no worries, it got used. Ironically, I bought this pad of Bristol to use with alcohol markers, and not only have I not done that yet, I've only ever pulled this particular pad out for no-box artbox challenges that involve water-soluble items. This piece turned out better in terms of this paper handling the wet medium far better than the Palettefull Packs box I mimicked a while back with the watercolor markers, but I still don't think I like using Bristol for wet work. I prefer it for markers and fine liners. What about you? Anyway, Between the intro stuff and all this chatting I've done after the fact, I think this video is probably long enough. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Weblight Dreams' video as well, and I'll see you soon. Bye.